Good morning. Just getting this ready, this little warning symbol. Get the social media post happening as well. What's up, Sarah? What's up, Mars? What's up? I called it. Good job. Good morning. We'll be with you in just a second. So I've been scalping Solana. Now, over the last like 12 hours or so, it has been in a corrective pattern. So a bit of a pullback there, but we'll get to the trading and the scalping after the Bitcoin analysis. So let me start there just for the day, and I'll turn off this little warning here, so that'll come up when I'm showing examples of trading, just so that people are aware it's just an example. It's not anything for you to follow, and it's no instruction. It's just, you know, so you follow it at your own risk if you do. But all right, let's have a look at Bitcoin. What's up, Honest? How you doing? So overnight, well, for me overnight, for over the course of the day for you guys in the US and in that part of the world, we had the JOLTS job opening figures. So JOLTS being the job opening labor something. So that had, you know, a positive impact. That showed that there was more job openings happening right now, which had a positive effect on price. Now, the FOMC meeting minutes was just a sort of a repeat of the same sort of sentiment they've been putting out for the last, you know, few meetings, or, you know, whenever they make a statement, they've been quite hawkish and tough on things because they want that inflation to come down to 2%. It's their target. I'm pretty sure the FOMC, like the Fed, are going to stay hawkish until they hit their goal, until they hit that 2% or near, you know, close to it, right? So don't expect any positivity and bullishness or dovishness out of the FOMC until, until proven otherwise. You know what I mean? So just you can almost count on them being tough on rate decisions and just their outlook on the overall economy, right? Because there's inflation's still high, it needs to come back down, and they're not going to try and jump the gun and predict that it's going to that we've already bounced kind of thing. So now just looking at, so we've got the FOMC meeting minutes that's happened, the JOLTS job openings that's happened. We're out on the hourly chart here, so you can see in the coming hours we've got the next sort of key event here, supposedly a high impact event as well, and that is the non-farm employment change. So I'll just drop down to a smaller time frame. I think, yeah, so yesterday's stream started at or around here, and we were talking about these sort of zones of support and resistance. I had these blue rectangle zones drawn up, and I think the idea was, like take a position at this zone and just set a stop sort of relatively beyond where price would leave that zone, like convincingly. So it held this support. So this pivot here was not seen again. It actually pulled in a higher low there, so that was kind of a hint that things were looking good. And then we got this really nice pump all the way back up to the top of the broader range that Bitcoin's been trading in since like mid-December. So nevertheless, we did find resistance at the top of that range. So that is now our yearly high, 2023 high. Yes, we're only 5 days into the year, 4 days, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, these are the key levels that I'm looking at. We've got, our 2023 open was all the way back here. So we are off to a good start for the year. So you could call 2023 so far a bull trend, a bull market, really. Obviously, in the context of last year, we're in a bear market, right? There's no question about it. Like, we are still in a bear market, like broader picture. If I let me just hide the events here, and I'll hide the TA, like all the trend lines and whatnot, just to get a bit of a perspective on the key levels that we're dealing with. So we are kind of in like this, we're wedged between our current high, 2023 high, and our 2023 low, of course, or open, and the 2022 low, which is, now that's a broader range. That's all the way back down here. So that's 15.5K. And then we've got, basically the top of that range is 18K. I'll just round it off, right? It's a little bit above that, but that is this is like the broader like rectangle that we're in. But we've squeezed down into this zone here. So it's a tighter zone. This is like our December rectangle going into January now. So pay attention to the borders of this rectangle. If I bring it back, these thick blue lines here are quite important to be paying attention to. When we break it to the downside, obviously we're going to continue down to probably test the 2022 low. If we break it to the upside, which is looking possible, we are like currently in an uptrend since late December. So there's the December low, or the late December low. There's a lower point in December back there, but yeah, for the most part, this has been the trend since just before Christmas. So we are in this like really nice uptrend, capping resistance. Like you can see, there's many examples of resistance on that blue zone. So yeah, that's kind of like how we're coming into or how we've handled the new year so far. So yeah, it looks like optimistic. I think a black swan event would have to happen for us to crash. Something like unforeseen as far as like crypto goes. But yeah, the FUD is still out there. It's still thick. There's a lot of bullshit going around. Like people warning about, Tether is on its last tether. Tether's hanging by a thread. People have been saying that for years. By the way, people have been threatening the collapse of Tether since it came out, really. But I'm not, like, I'll always be cautious, but I'm not. I'll always have that inkling feeling in the back of my mind, like, holy shit, like, what if it does collapse at some point? That's going to be huge. It's going to be a huge impact for crypto. It's going to set everything back a lot worse than the FTX fallout did. So yeah, we hope that things stay stable from here on out. Like, we don't want any more collapses or black swans, but always be cautious of them. Don't expect them, but be prepared for them. You can prepare for it. So in that sense, like, have your stops in place if you're in a trade, that kind of shit. So now the other threat is like, oh, Binance is insolvent. Like, there's a lot of FUD around Binance as well. I think everyone's got a bit of post-traumatic stress disorder from the whole FTX fallout. Everyone has basically scrutinized every player in the exchange game. And rightly so. Like, I mean, that's fair, right? But yeah, I think things will calm down eventually. It can't just be like disasters until we get to zero. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. It's unlikely, right? So let's look out to the S&P 500. So we were, like, according to these pivots here, we were sort of trading into a pennant or a triangle, whatever you want to call this. And it is a bearish pattern. However, we've had a little bit of activity on the outside of it to the upside. So that's made me sort of change my perspective on what it might be. And this is looking, what was that? The hour chart. So let's go to the hour chart on the futures for S&P. So that dotted line is that same line that I had drawn. So now that it's sort of broadening out, it looks more like perhaps this, like a bit of a larger pennant trying to form as well. Now this, bear in mind, this is still bearish, right? We've fallen into it from a downtrend, and we're consolidating and squeezing, and potentially that is that's the textbook more likely scenario for the S&P, is to fall out of this bear pennant. But there's no guarantees with that. It's just it's a game of probability, right? You could argue that there's almost like an inverse head and shoulders here too forming. So we've got the left shoulder, the head, and then this has been the right shoulder. Kind of ugly, lots of volatility through here, but this is kind of our neckline that we're working with at the moment. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we come up and test that area and potentially break it as like a bit of an inverse head and shoulders reversal. I mean, S&P isn't a stranger to that kind of reversal. We've seen one here. Like, we saw an inverse head and shoulder right there. So it's, it is on the cards. That's like the optimistic outlook for it. But yeah, we're still dealing with this pennant. Until we get a convincing break above or below, just, be cautious. Kind of just be aware of it. Now that's on a sort of like a broader scale. I guess there's no real point to zooming too far into what happened today on the S&P, but if I go to just real quick, I'll just go down to like say the 15-minute chart. You can see that it opened up here after close, like, so it finished out last week here, gapped up, opened up here, and then filled that gap quite quickly. That was during the, I think, the meeting minutes. Yeah, bit of bearishness, but this entire rally here was awesome. This optimistic rally here, and then, you know, we've come back down to that similar range. But yeah, there's a fair fight going on between the bulls and the bears right now. You know, as Jack put on the thumbnail yesterday for yesterday's stream, we are in like somewhat of a crab market right now. We are chopping sideways. We don't really have a direction just yet. And you know, that's kind of depicted by the pennant, right? We haven't got our direction just yet. We are squeezing. But yeah, fingers crossed for an explosive breakout, whether that's up or down, like we'll see. But we want that volatility to come back. We want some kind of definitive trend so that crypto knows its direction. So Ethereum Classic, once again, that's been quite interesting. Look at this 1 minute candle. That's crazy. Almost 3% in one single 1 minute candle. Very like juicy scalp right there to be had. Now Solana is back on trend, which is cool to see. Back above 200 on the 1 minute. So if you're this is like, you know, micro trends, micro scalping. Yeah, it's this whole sort of scenario here with Solana, like it had these momentary dips below the 200, which was enough to get things bearish. I mean, it spent quite a bit of time here. I got stopped out of a scalp, which I was kind of pissed off about. Just here, like price actually made it above the 200, found support. All the Ichimoku signals were there to go long, took the long, got stopped out. So, I mean, lucky the stop was there because we did get like a fair bit of drawdown after that. Now it looks like we're trying to reclaim that level at the moment. So yeah, keep an eye on that space if you're interested in scalping. So I think Ethereum Classic's good for scalping. There's a lot of volatility there too. I'm just going to change the view here. So we've got this watch list is, yeah, things are starting to move, which is great. You know, Christmas was really flat and boring. So it's good to see this sort of amp up happening. But yeah, as far as Bitcoin goes, what do we got? Like half an hour until the daily close. Let's go down to the hour chart. So the last hour has been nice. There's been a nice bit of recovery off that dump after the meeting minutes. We'll see how far we can get with a recovery. I'm still optimistic. We are still in an uptrend here. We've still got our higher lows, right, on the higher time frame there, as well as higher highs. But it's the lows that define an uptrend, not the highs. You can go as high as you like. You can go as shallow as you like with the highs. It doesn't matter. It's the lows that define an uptrend. Now, in a downtrend, it's the opposite. It's the highs that define a downtrend. So once you break a new high, like we kind of almost did here, but it was really on this big green candle that we broke that characteristic of the downtrend, right? And that changed it from a downtrend to an uptrend. So that's the market structure in a nutshell. So yeah, we're really focusing in on the lows here. The recent sort of swing was like around this kind of vicinity. So if we break back below, say here, I would say we're looking at a, now I'll give you a price for those that are not watching and only listening. If we convincingly get candle closes below, say 16,800, then I would look to, instead of trying to scalp longs, scalp shorts, depending on your strategy, right? But so far, it's good. We've held this zone as support. We're getting a higher low. The price to beat right now is basically 17K. We've been knocking on the door of 17,000. Maybe we'll get something like this if if all things play out where we get a recovery. Perhaps it'll be some kind of like an ascending triangle until perhaps we break 17K, but that's yet to be seen. I don't want to like say that's going to happen. That's just something that could happen, right? The resistance is there was a lot of sell pressure here. I think that was due to the FOMC meeting, but oh yeah, once again, shout out to Jack for making the thumbnail for this stream as well. He's been busy. He's been making a lot of them, so appreciate your input there, Jack. Yeah, I guess from now until market close, I'm just going to hypothetically look at Solana for scalping. I did get a nice scalp this morning, about an hour ago. It was back here. I noticed that we were coming up to this 200 EMA, right, on the 1 minute. I don't think it's safe to take longs if you're getting rejected by the 200, right? For all intents and purposes, yes, there are scalps to be had. They're just like a bit higher risk. They're not as probable. So we broke out of the cloud here. Green Kumo ahead. The Shiku span, or the lagging indicator, the lagging line, popped up above price and cloud. So this zone was probably good to get in on through here. But I waited because I wanted to see commitment above the 200. So the rejections were here. It got wedged between the cloud and the 200 EMA. And then finally we got a pop. Now I sort of saw the pop and I was like kicking myself that I didn't get in here. But I was like, look, this is probably going to get back tested because we're still not that committed yet to a recovery. Like, we've been falling all night for hours. So I just waited for the back test. So there was a double back test, or you could argue triple back test here. And I entered somewhere around here and wrote it up to, I think, like somewhere in this neighborhood up here. So nice little scalp. I had my stop loss quite tight because I was still a little bit pessimistic about it. I wasn't totally convinced, but yeah, I didn't want to be holding a long if price was going to break back down below the 200 EMA. But yeah, look, it's back on trend, it seems, for now. Technically, I could have held that position open and waited for a TK cross back down, which are these blue and orange lines. So there was a TK cross right here, so that could have been a nice exit. Some people say take an exit when the Chiku span, the pink line, crosses back through the price, which would have been like around here, right? But look, it's the same kind of area, same kind of level. So yeah, not a bad little scalp there. So look, there's still opportunities too, right here. Now this blue line, I don't know what that's from. Let me go back. Okay, so that's the highs of this zone here. We tapped that area, that level, as support. As we were crashing here, capped it as resistance. So it's a bit of an SR level, support resistance flip. Resistance, 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 heavy resistance. Once again, resistance, and right now we're getting resistance off it again. So it is a significant kind of line, I think, to have on the chart. That is $13.52 Solana as our existing resistance right now. So we're still getting a nice green cloud. We've just had a Kumo twist. So there could be a bit of a correction here, like a pullback into the cloud. We'll see. It's definitely knocking on the door of this resistance. I would call this 4 4 attempts. This has been the 4th, and now we're, yeah, time to see what breaks. Now that there's sort of like a trend line here too. If I just take it from back here, something like this. I'm just trying to get the most activity off that line as possible, like a fair kind of line, something like this, right? But Little Red Big Smile, what's up? Good to see. I haven't seen you on the streams in a little while. Brother Rick, much love to you and your family. What do you think about the Pi Network? Just curious. Also, XYO. Sure, I'll have a look at XYO and Pi Network. I don't know. It's kind of like a bit of a wild card, that Pi Network. I have it on my phone and I've been mining it, but yeah, I don't have high hopes for it or anything like that. I'm just in it in case it is legit and in case it makes money. So, but yeah, I've gone through the whole KYC process, all that stuff, all that jazz. But yeah, fingers crossed something happens with it. But don't just yeah, keep your expectations in check, I suppose. Let me have a look at the XYO chart for you. See if I've got it in my Bybit watch list. I arrange this alphabetically so it's down near the bottom. Do I have it? X. No, I don't have it. Okay, let me just add it into. I mean, it might be in the Binance list here. Wow, look at all these delisted. MFT and BSV USD. Get rid of them. XYO. There it is. KuCoin. You gotta love KuCoin. So XYO. Okay, interesting. Down on the 1 minute. It's had a pullback just like Solana. It hasn't quite got above its 200 EMA yet. It's been bashing against it as resistance. But what I would say is keep your eye on the 200. You want to see price break above it and then start riding it as support for any kind of continuation of the overall, like the larger trend, right? That would be my opinion. But it looks good. It seems to have flattened out from this drop. It's getting like, arguably equal lows here. There's some like line of support. But yeah, keep your eye on that. It is squeezing. It looks good. It looks enticing, I guess you could say. We had it on Solana, kinda like where we were cutting back through the Kumo clouds. We had a Kumo twist, which is good. And then we had to sort of battle the 200 EMA. I know that the VWAP is somewhere up here as well. I don't have it on the chart right now, but let's have a look. So yeah, XYO, that's the immediate resistance up ahead, this 200 EMA on the 1 minute. And that's, that's short time frame. But yeah, we're getting Kumo twists. So we're getting a green cloud here. We've just had a cross, a TK cross. That's the blue and orange line. And we've got the Chiku span, the lagging line, above price, but not quite above cloud just yet. But it's starting to look optimistic, this XYO. So yeah, trade at your own risk. I would be setting stops. If you're planning to get in on it, setting stops like, say, below these lows, or if you can afford it. Ooh, look at that pullback and rejection by the 200. This is why you wait for confirmation, wait for it to pop up above 200 and start using it as support. You don't want to jump the gun. So this is kind of like a bit of a no man's land. You don't want to be entering positions when it's squeezing like this. But yeah, like if you can afford it, set a stop to this distance, because that's the current line in the sand right there. This wick. Depending on the exchange you're on, I mean, this is the KuCoin chart, so yeah, that wick probably exists for what you're trading it on. You're holding it? Okay, yeah. So yeah, the party's not over yet on XYO. If you go to the 15-minute time frame, obviously, it's in a beautiful uptrend. To get like a perspective on it, it's violently up right now. So I wouldn't be entering new longs long term on it. Like I would be waiting for it to get back into the Kumo clouds for any kind of like really long swing trades. But as far as scalping goes, like game on, 15-minute chart's good. 5-minute chart has a bit of work to do. It's trying to get back up on top of things. The 1-minute chart, yeah, it's just stand by. Keep your eye on that 200. But there you go. That's a bit of a little overview. Is there anything else that anyone wants me to look at? Any other altcoins? Kev is saying that Doge is ready. We've got about 16 minutes to go or less until the daily close. Let me open up the Dogecoin chart. Oh yeah, beautiful rally. Huge green cloud on the 1 minute. So it's riding the cloud. It's riding the TK lines as well. Really nice trend there. I would say Solana is having issues with this line of resistance. A pop above and potential back test of that blue line on Solana would be healthy and optimistic, because it means it got up on top of that resistance. But yeah, for now it seems to be like possibly breaking trend here. Let's just change the goalposts a bit and play that as the trend, just to see if it's gonna respect support off it, like as it potentially comes in. But hey, don't take longs when price gets below the cloud. Don't take longs or any trade inside a cloud. You want to wait for it to pop, like similar to what happened here. You get your Kumo twist, price popping it, which is really cool. And then better yet, wait for it to get on top of the 200 if you are below it. So really nice combination there. I feel like I am getting a bit stronger with the Ishimoku trading strategy for scalping, so getting a bit more familiar with what to look for and when to be confident and when to be cautious. So yeah, combining it with trend lines and lines of support and resistance is powerful, I think. Look for a possible new green cloud, potentially. If we get a Kumo twist here where the cloud turns green, that could be another nice entry as we squeeze up into this apex. There could be a pop on the cards here, popping up. Be cautious though, like we are heading into the daily close, and yes, little red. I'll check out BNB as well. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, similar story to Doge, right? It's above the cloud. There's a nice trend going here, but and it's above the 200 as well, which is awesome. So there's your 200 EMA, right? I wouldn't be getting in long just yet. Like maybe see if there's going to be a pullback. If you do go long, you want to set your stop, say in the cloud, or if you can afford it, just below the cloud, because you don't want to be in a long if it's going to punch the cloud and then correct, especially if it gets through the 200, right? But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that on BNB. But it looks good. Definitely not in a downtrend on BNB. It's somewhat, it looks almost like a bit of a cup and handle here. It's quite a deep handle though. Some people would argue that this cup and handles don't exist on the 1 minute, and yeah, I somewhat agree. Like I agree and disagree. Like they can form, and this handle's way too deep. I think that sort of like invalidates it as a cup and handle, but that does not mean that it can't rally up. We'll see. I think obviously everything answers to Bitcoin at this point, and Bitcoin needs to come up at least test 17K. But if not, if we get lucky, it could punch it and then really take off, but and continue this uptrend. But we'll see. We'll see. Holding a couple of months, that's entirely your decision for investment. But my opinion is, I mean, I'm in a long on Bitcoin, which is, I'm holding bags basically. My bags, I think my position's like roughly up around 24K, so it's a bit ugly. But I'm not too stressed about it. My liquidation's way down below 6,000, so there's a long distance there. But yeah, if I just bring up my pos, let's turn off the levels. And I'll turn the TA off as well. We'll go full screen, and I'll show you what my situation currently is. So yeah, my position's ugly as hell. I wish I was as attentive to price action and trading back here as I am now, right? I've developed a lot in this current 6-month window, or however long this has been. I think it's been like, let's see, I got in the position around like mid-August. And what are we now? Like heading toward mid-January. So August, September, October, November, December. This will be almost 5 months, approaching 5 months in this trade. So I took a position, stupid position, right? Liquidation was probably around here, but I've been basically feeding the margin to get that liquidation further and further away until it's out of danger, out of trouble. So I haven't DCA'd yet. I've done a couple of little ones, but nothing major to where it's going to bring my position down. I'm still waiting to see some true bullish commitment from price to break out of this downtrend before getting any more money into the actual trade, like some like dollar cost averaging it. There is a trend line right now. If we go, it's this one here. So we've got this high, this second high, and now we're looking for a potential third touch. Let me just zoom in here. So this was interesting. I was, half. Well, you got to be careful of expecting things to happen, but I was paying attention to this rising wedge, right, which is a bearish pattern, and it could still play out to be bearish for us. But we seem to have got back up inside of it. There was a threat that we would lose it. Through all these this dirty retest, I guess you could call it, of the bottom side of the rising wedge. But for the most part, yeah, it looks like it's holding, and we may rally up to test, either the top of this rising wedge or the top of this like larger falling wedge, right? Yeah, interesting times. It's very exciting to see what's going to happen. We've got 8 minutes until the daily close, so we're getting there. Let me go back down to a lower time frame here. Let's follow things on let's say the 5 minute. Yeah, anyone that's facing the storm on the west coast of the US, be careful, guys. Stay safe. Look out for each other, and stay off the roads if you can. Typical Serrano. Doge pump, apparently. Thanks, Jack. I'm going to jump into the Discord, by the way. If anyone wants to jump in and say g'day, I'll be in the YouTube voice. Let me put up the link to Discord through here. There we go. And what I'll do, I'll pin it to the top of the chat. I apologize not for going on webcam today. I just can't be bothered. All right. Let's pin that link up there, and I'll hop in there now. What's up, dog?
1 second.
Just yeah, looking at potentially the scalping for today after we get the close. Like, got 6 minutes left. Hey, not long. 5 minutes.
What are you looking at? Bitcoin?
Just yeah, this is Bitcoin's heading into the daily close.
Yeah.
Solana's really playing with that trend line right now. Got a touch here, touch there.
And it also has the 200 just right under that cloud that it's going to have a problem with per usual.
Yeah, so there
But
could
if
be.
if it continues from earlier, though, it should just kind of dip under it.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll see what happens. Honestly.
Yeah, this trend line may hold. And if not, we've got the support of the 200 potentially. I wouldn't be too optimistic if we started to lose the 200 as well. Like if price started to fall below that 200. So yeah, trend lines and moving averages, they're definitely handy to have on the chart just to see the overall, like the average flow of the market, I suppose. We're kind of looking a bit shaky here. We're getting a bit of like short-term market structure break. About 4
we
minutes.
Did get down to 12.8 for Solana. I was expecting 12.5, but
oh, yep. Yeah, we did.
Just fine.
Got nice and low, yeah. This Lux Algo indicator, the smart money concepts, is great. It really defines the top and the bottom, and you get a feel for like the range we're dealing with right now on the extreme side, the extreme sort of scale. So what does it mean from down here all the way to the tippy top? Almost 6%. That's really nice. That's a healthy little trend there. So about, let's see, 3 minutes to go almost. We are quite a distance away from the clouds on the 5-minute chart, but we're above the 200 on the 5-minute, which is cool.
Yeah, getting beat up by the VWAP at the moment. 2 projections so far. Looks like it's going to head back to the 2, test it with the baseline, or conversion, and see what happens.
Yep.
Or, sorry, baseline, not conversion. Mr. Pink. I don't.
Yeah, baseline, the Kijunsen, or Kijun, Kijun? Kijun?
K1.
Yeah, the K line. The T line and the K line. K line, guys, being the orange, T line being the blue. The blue, you could argue, is like the fast line, sort of like a fast moving average, and then the K line being the slower moving average of sorts. But they're a little bit different to moving averages, though. The calculation's way different to just a simple average. There's a lot more going on, so it's a bit more of an intelligent line, I guess you could say.
Yeah, kind of like a 926, 8 826 moving average.
Right. I used to play that strategy. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. It's a nice.
Everyone's messed with it.
Yeah.
Cross strat.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. EMA cross. So a bit of a dirty test of this trend line here. It's so far, it's like it's wanting to hold, but yeah, keep your eyes peeled because we could lose it, of course. This is looking good.
Getting rejected by the cloud.
Yep.
30 minutes stuck in the middle of a cloud. Or at the top of one, actually, not the middle, but it did bounce. Yeah, it did bounce the bottom of the cloud that it's in, so that's good.
Yep.
1 hour didn't even go towards the cloud, but has a TK cross to the down.
Yeah.
4 hours peeling back, looking like it's gonna go for the 200 test we were talking about earlier, which is
man.
Now it's at 260.
Bought the 4 hour chart.
Earlier it was at 12.57 or 12.75. Now it's
look how dramatic we are away.
12.63.
We're so dramatically away from the clouds on the 4 hour chart. It's crazy. Kind of scary. Yeah.
I mean, so far, like, it's kind of a wick to Mr. Blue. Or
the T line. Yeah.
I still like Mr. Blue and Mr. Pink better. I'm gonna say that.
Mr. Blue, Mr. Pink.
I'm not trying to get tongue twisted over the Japanese words. Respect to them for creating it, but I'd rather get tongue twisted over you. Wait, what? Well,
there's the market close, guys.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh, well, not market close, sorry, daily close. Daily open. Good old 24-hour crypto. Ooh, bit of a pullback.
See how it goes.
Yeah, it's quite a severe wick. Yeah, we've
low 2 for Solana. There's a wick to it.
We've kissed the 200 basically right now. See if we lose it.
On the fucking lips. Just a smoocheroo.
So convincingly breaking a trend line can be like your little signal to get short. You know, you don't even, like, if you're just talking trend lines, let me just turn off the Ishimoku for a second. You can take positions when price convincingly breaks through a trend, right? In the necessary direction. It's a bit more like of a basic and blind method for where to get out, or you know what I mean? Like you I guess you'd be aiming for like a change in the new trend that is setting in.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool to use them in combination with each other, trend lines and the Ishimoku cloud strategies. Yeah, quite a severe
YouTube chat.
Yeah, quite a severe little reds.
Right
in some positions. What's that?
No, Honest just said something in general chat in Discord.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I want my van back. YouTube chat's gone weird.
She's just kidding. So Binance is holding ground. Ethereum Classic, ooh, it's very volatile right now, ETC. I know you hate Ethereum Classic fundamentally.
I hate it. I hate Ethereum.
Yeah. But hey,
make money off of it.
Yeah, that's it.
I absolutely despise Ethereum Classic, that's for sure.
Like there's like from a trading scalping perspective, there's no need to
make
bother
money.
too
Yeah.
strongly about fundamentals. Like if it's trending, it's trending. Yeah, that's it.
Right. 100%
Yeah,
make money.
yeah,
I just personally won't trade it. That's all. But
that's
my
fair
bias
enough.
is my bias.
Yeah, yeah,
Doesn't have to be anyone else's.
yeah, that's it.
Just like anything, not
Mm.
just a air quotes complete shitcoin, right? Just like
Mm-hmm.
anything, just make money. Don't hold it. Be smart.
Yeah,
Don't buy the top. Don't sell the bottom. Same, same. It's always going to make moves because it has the name Ethereum in it.
yeah.
Unless you're BSV and you get booted off exchanges. Oof.
And yes, Bit. So the native token of Bybit is trending nicely.
I didn't know they made a token, really.
Yeah, it's called Bit, BIT. It's
Very creative name.
yeah.
Bit. Is it Bit DAO?
Not sure. It's just BIT, Bybit coin. It's kind of, like the FTT of FTX and the BNB of
Yeah, I get
Binance.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
I was looking for it on
Oh, and coin market cap.
CoinMarketCap.
Yeah. Look for it too. Yeah, BitDAO. Yeah.
It is? It's Bit DAO?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
40 cents?
Pretty sure it's the Bybit one. Potentially. I don't know. Potentially not.
This might not be it.
Anyway, yeah, Bit. Oh, it's not Bybit related. My bad. I don't know does Bybit have a native token? I'm not even sure. If they don't, like, more power to Bybit for not going down that route of like trying to, accumulate money off everyone. Right, let's have a look at some potential positions for hypothetical explanation of
Yeah, that's what I thought. Free trial. They had one and it lasted for like a couple months and then it was gone.
okay, yeah, there you go.
Wow, they actually, Bybit holds a bunch of the Bit DAO token, which is kind of funny. They hold a bunch of it. Jesus. And the reserves publicly displayed 7.58% they got in it. Fuck me. But I mean, it is backed by Teeter Peel, so Peter Thiel. Oof, dyslexia. Interesting. Isn't Biscuit like scamming people for money
Maybe.
in the tit.cc Discord? They're begging people.
Yeah, I mean, I had nothing against the dude. He just kicked me out of his Discord server and wouldn't let me come back unless I paid like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, probably thousands of dollars now. I think the price for me getting back in went up every day. So the message there was he doesn't want me. like as part of his group, or he doesn't want to know me. So there you go. That's the Pisket situation for anyone interested.
Fuck him.
Yeah,
Last I heard
he turned on many
about him,
people
he was
for no reason too. Like he totally turned on everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Last I heard about him, he was griefing people and begging in the tip bot Discord for money.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. He just went whack. But you know,
everything he was
shit
talking
happens.
about was bullshit. That's all.
It happens.
Yeah, got against the books.
Good old Discord drama. It keeps you away from trading, guys. It's not profitable. Discord drama. Yeah. So to any like OG Crypto Down Under Discord people that used to like, you know, were loyal hanging out in the chat, I do apologize for going AWOL. Or like, you know, I just went missing for some time there. I pretty much just got sick of the Discord crap and needed a break. And you know, I'm back at it, back on the YouTube streaming. There's less drama in YouTube, I feel. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Do people get bored? They start like, I don't know. They cause drama queens.
Start losing money.
Yeah, that's it. The market, like they play out their feelings through the Discord. Lots of ego clashes. I mean, it's called Discord for a reason, right? It's a perfect name for the program.
Just trying to get a confirmation candle under the 200 right here. Or actually, this is just going to be a candle close under, not a confirmation.
Yeah. Solana. Yeah, Solana's definitely on a downtrend now. It's pivoted. Current trend is something like this. So you can see that the switch in trend, we've gone from respecting this line to breaking that line and now forming a new line, which is this line here, getting support off it as we slide down. The thing that'll break this downtrend though isn't the support side, it's the resistance side of a downtrend. Breaking resistance means that you're breaking a downtrend. Breaking support means that you're breaking an uptrend. You're talking trend lines, right? So we can pretty much remove this line and have this line as our resistant trend. So in a downtrend, yeah, price can do this, it can come up, do that, it can start getting higher lows and all that kind of shit, but what matters is the trend that's holding it underwater. So this and this, like when price comes and breaks it, you know, and then, you know, potentially back tests it, gets a higher low or equal low or whatever, but it's when your highs start getting higher again as a pattern, that's when you've broken that trend convincingly, you know, and you're starting a different trend. But yeah, for the moment, this is kind of like what Solana's up to on the 1 minute. Solana. A lot of people are kind of skeptical on Solana now because of the whole FTX Sam Bankman-Fried involvement with it. But I don't know. I don't think he had anything to do with it from a development standpoint. I don't know. Maybe he did. It'd be good to get clarity on that. But you know, I suppose the Solana network is still there. It's still functioning as it was. The teams, Solana teams there. You're saying we're in pivotal moment. Yes, this was the pivotal moment. This red candle here was the pivotal moment, breaking that support structure. So we're waiting for that next pivotal moment, and that's breaking the resistance structure as we're in a downtrend, right? Let me just pull these lines in a little just so they make sense. There is an indicator that does this automatically for you by Lux Algo, worth looking into. I think it's called like Auto Trend or something like that. Trend lines breaks, that's what it is. But I think it takes some tweaking and some playing around to get it working nicely. Ooh, okay, look, we've got a bit of a push here. We might be breaking this resistance sooner than we think. Maybe. Wait for the candle closes because it can be just wick. I'm going to try and ignore like wicks as any kind of definitive move. Look for the actual candle bodies. It's fighting. We're back up over the 200 for now. There we go. We are sort of like coming through that trend now. So just for argument's sake, let's say price does this, right? And really starts getting like lots of closing outside of that trend. This would be the pivot point that you're looking for your next trend. Like, where's the next like point of action? And that becomes like your new potential uptrend. But yeah, right now we're still getting resistance by that trend line. So if you're a trend line trader, you could potentially look at shorting here and then setting a stop, like say up here above the previous swing high here. Just looking for that continuation of this short-term pullback. What do I see? See, look, trying to predict what's gonna happen, that's kind of like a fool's game. I try not to make predictions. I just, yeah, let the indicators do the reading for you. I mean, much better than trying to predict. Predicting and trying to forecast is more of like, say, an investor's game. But when you're trading, it's not about prediction. It's about taking signal and getting in on based on a strategy, setting a stop loss according to like, you know, the laws and the rules of your strategy, and sticking to it, like, you know, obeying the rules of it. So you were asking Codeca beats. Oh shucks. Codeca. Yeah, what do you see, Codeca? I'm guessing that's your partner or something, Little Red? So still under the Kumo clouds here. I wouldn't be getting long just yet. If you're playing the Ishimoku strategy, you want to wait for price action to get through the clouds. It is good. We did get sort of like a dirty test of that 200. We got a little bit of activity below it, but we are back up on top of the 200, which is cool. Very nice. Congratulations, you two. That's cute. Bitcoin is killing me. I thought everything was pointing for downside. Ah, damn. Yeah, I think 17K is still on the cards. Look, we're still coming up to a huge resistance zone, right? It's an SR's level, what we're currently facing. So, you know, there still could be a chance that it fails to break it. But yeah, just be careful. I guess if you're in a short on Bitcoin, just realize that this is an uptrend right now. You know. You look left, man. Zoom out and look left. You see where the traffic has been, where the resistance has been. Yeah, this could be a nice green day, though. If Bitcoin stays on trend here. That little FOMC hiccup was nasty, but I don't think it's killed the sentiment just yet. Clean up these lines a little. What can I get rid of? This wedge kind of, whatever this is. I feel like this is more of a horizontal, should be more of a horizontal, something like this, right? Now that horizontal is basically 16,950. Bitcoin. This trend line, it's a bit harder on the bottom side to sort of get a feel for where this trend belongs on it, because it's, you know, price action hasn't been very clean on the bottom side here. So I might just delete that and just refocus back in on this larger trend. Let that do the talking, because we are back up on top of it. So yeah, like obviously most of this analysis today has been short term, like micro analysis. Like this is by no means a macro perspective, you know, when you're looking at the 1 hour and even the 4 hour, right? Like we're quite zoomed in here. To get any kind of actual market direction, you need at least the daily. I think daily's like comfortable to get that feel for direction. Obviously, we're still in a downtrend quite significantly. I would start getting optimistic when we start testing this trend line here, this big descending long-term trend line. If price is able to get up there and test it, and then potentially break it. We've got 28 people in the stream. How you doing, guys? It's good to have you on board. Remember to hit up the like button, smash the like button, subscribe and hit the little bell notification so that you get notified when I go live next. Troy asks, why is it spiking? Are you referring to Bitcoin? It's a good question. Well, job openings is up, so that the figure of job openings is up, which is a positive thing for markets, right? Bitcoin's in an uptrend, like plain and simple, like right now on the shorter time frame. Even on the 4-hour, you could argue that this is an uptrend too, right? You can see it clear as day. Let me delete this line. We had an inverse head and shoulders here, broke the neckline, back tested the neckline, found support, rallied up. Awesome. The bots create these trends. Not really, like not necessarily. Like it can be people. Like if a whole bunch of people are looking at the same level, and pivot points, they'll, they're likely to sort of draw a trend line, and adhere to that trend line and trade off it, or using it as support or resistance, and that's what creates them, really. It could be, yeah. I mean, I don't have an answer to that, I guess, like a perfect answer to that. But yeah, you could say that maybe the bots do create the structure that they're trying to print out to try and curb a sentiment. They're trying to lure people into a particular decision. That's how I feel it is sometimes. Market manipulation, but a lot of it can be natural too. When you're talking billions and billions of dollars being traded, the retail portion of the market is massive. Like, it's a whale in and of itself. It's kind of like it's an unorganized, uncoordinated whale. Like it's the dumb money, right? It's just retail. Like, it gets pushed around by market makers, manipulation. They'll put up walls. They'll put up, they'll spike down and grab liquidity. They'll do all sorts of things to drive the price to where they make the most profit off it. So usually the case is that they're playing us as retail to take our money, basically. So you sort of have to understand their game and trade in harmony with those so-called market makers, right? With the whales. Trade with the whales. Don't try to trade against them, and don't get trapped. Don't get trapped trading against them, or like following the herd. Sometimes you can see there are certain tools out there that show the long to short ratios of retail versus like institutional. I think the MDX website has a bit of an example of that. Let me show you. Go to the dashboard if it'll let us. So on Binance, retail is majority long, so 60% long, only 40% short. Retail. Top traders are long as well, so that's kind of like telling you that even the people that know what they're doing are currently long. Now you can change the time frame for this to like an hourly. From an hourly perspective, like, yeah, majority long. Open interest for Bitcoin in the last hour has been 9.3 billion. It's up to Pretty cool little tool, this website. Let's go down to like the daily. So from a daily perspective, everyone's long. Top traders, which are, you know, the sophisticated, the smart money. This is an average of retail and top traders together on Bybit as well. They're majority long as well. So interesting. MM is the house. Magic Mike, or you mean MM Crypto? I don't know. Got 30 people tuned in. What's up, guys? Great to have you on board. Remember to hit the like button. Smash up that like button, see if we can get some more people to flow through. Potential short on the 1 minute. Small time frame for Solana. Yeah. We just broke back below the 200 moving average EMA. Looks like we're now testing this trend line, and it's like riding it as like support. The lows. Maybe, you know, we'll see. Maybe it could just completely collapse through it, but not support in the sense of like uptrend support, but look, we're looking for that second pivot. So if we're calling this pivot number 1, we want to know where pivot number 2 is so that we can start our trend. Because right now it's unconclusive. It's currently like this, right? But then price can come down and make a low. It can make an equal low, making it a line of support, or it can make a higher low, which makes it a trend line like that. So trend lines are like these diagonal lines, right? These ones that are on an angle. Lines of support and resistance are the perfectly horizontal lines, right? Price levels. So two very different things. Yeah. Let's see how this, if it pivots. Looks like it might. That could be potentially what we're dealing with. We'll see how these next couple of candles behave. Could be this. Market maker, I see. Market maker is now referred to as Magic Mike. There you go. This could be the start of a bounce on Solana. Don't go long. Wait for confirmation, of course. Wait. The better thing to do is wait until price gets back up above the clouds and above the 200 EMA before thinking of going long, I would say. Just to be cautious, you know, you don't want to be trading with higher risk than necessary. It would be a risky play going long in the middle of nowhere, just based off a hunch, you know. But hey, if you do want to do those cowboy type trades where you just sort of risk it and then set like a stop below the previous swing, then yeah, by all means, it's your money. But yeah, that could potentially be like a FOMO play right there. A riskier play. There we go, there's a bit of a pop. Be nice to see this candle close quite strong. We had bullish divergence, guys. Look, back here on the divergence indicator. Divergence was being called here. And then we got a nice little rally up, so that's cool. That candle, not much became of that candle. It's just all wick so far. Yeah. Okay, Not a confirmed pivot. Not yet anyway. We're trying to establish a trend here. We'll wait for candle closes before we move this line, because we need that confirmation. We need about 10 or 15 minutes more price action to see if this is going to be a trend line, basically. So it's right now, it's like, you know, it's on standby right now. Right. So that previous candle closed right there. Now, if this candle closes quite solid and low, then this being a trend line gets invalidated. But if price was to climb back up on top of the line and respect these lows here, then that's when this line would sort of get solidified. But yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good for that trend line. Let me like anchor it like right here, so we can use it as a pivot point. Potentially coming down to do a double bottom. That's the next sort of like theory or thing to look for. Maybe. And then when that happens, let's say this double bottom holds, that's when you're drawing your pivot from here now, and then you're trying to decide if there's going to be a direction change. But yeah, so far this is the line that we're looking at as potential support. If that breaks as well, then damn, we're just continuing on this like downtrend. Holding so far. If you are like willing to sort of take the risk, hypothetically speaking, you would go long here and set a stop quite tight below this low here. Let's see how that goes. So I'll make this green because that would be the hypothetical long, and then this is the stop loss, so red below that, this pivot here. So just bring it over here for argument's sake. And it's a risky trade, but this is kind of like looking at pivot points and seeing if it's going to hold as support. I mean, there's a massive red Kumo cloud above us, so it's very risky. I wouldn't advise this trade at all. Eight seconds left of this candle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, close kind of strong. Not totally convinced yet, but we'll see. At this point, now that we've like got a candle closed up here, I would bring this stop loss a little tighter, like close that gap up a little. You could even bring it to break even, but yeah, up to you with how you trade. Take profit, I mean, who knows, hey, like maybe at the 200 EMA, just for a quick scalp, like up here or something. I should turn my little warning sign on. There we go. Zombies or aliens? What's more likely to happen? Zombies, I've seen I Am Legend. It's a good question. Zombies or aliens? Is our little FOMO trade going to work out? Are we going to cap profit? It's a big call. It's a bit of a risky one. I don't advise taking trades below the Kumo clouds like this. It's very risky, guys. That's why this is hypothetical. I'm not in this financially, right? I'm just drawing lines. Let's see if it hits this level here. This 200. This is probably where you can bring your stop up to your entry. So if it does not work out, at least you don't lose anything. You're just breaking even, right? Now that things have kicked off somewhat. Come on, wick my exit. My hypothetical exit right here. The market is boring. We need some massive action. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see more massive action, but Solana has been trending really nice over the last 3 days. Very tradable, very profitable. If you're trading the right side of it, that is. That's cool. Solid candle close. We might get a little bit of maybe a little bit of a test. Here we go. Come on. Just need that little pop. Just a wick, you know, something to go cha-ching. Maybe this is too ambitious. Maybe we could drop this target a little, like to here. Let's see. We'll see. I mean, if you're doubting it, just market sell right now. That would be also another way to get out. If you're kind of like you're doubting this even coming up that high, you can just cut it where it is and take that small scalp, just in and out. You know, matter of 5 minutes, 4 minutes. But if you have the conviction, you can just let it run, let it play. Another way to do it is to just bring your stop loss up. You know, bring your stop up to here, which is a little bit of profit. Maybe you don't hit your big profit, but at least you stop out in some form of profit. That's another way to play it. So it looks like it's about to stop out in small profit. So, yeah. It's kind of how you can scalp. There you go. You got stopped out in very fractional profit. Probably like $1 or like 50 cents or something like that. Who knows, right? At least you didn't lose anything, but you're taking a punt. The real trades come when you're following a strategy. So I'm gonna delete all this. When you follow a strategy like the Ishimoku cloud strategy, and the probability is a lot more on your side when you're following this strategy, I promise. Like, you don't want to be taking longs below a red cloud. That was, you know, that's an example of bad behavior. You'll get punished for that if you do that often, you know? Just be patient. What's up, 30 people? Smash up the like button. There's 29 likes. Sheriff Demars, hello from France. Ah, bonjour. Bonjour. Bonjour, monsieur. Discipline is the most important part of any strategy, maybe. Oh, 100%. Staying disciplined. Punch the like button. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. We got 32 people. Damn. 31. 30 people. Loving it. Oui, oui, bonjour, monsieur Australie. What's common to t'appeler, or my French is terrible. I don't speak French. I wish I knew French. It sounds so cool. French is complicated. Yeah. Hey, look, if you change your strategy, like if you were taking, how can I put this? If you were trading in by the law and the rule of Ichimoku, you could have taken that potentially as a new short position, right? The rejection of the 200, open short, and you would be in nice profit here. Like you'd have ridden this down. Not to mention the TK cross. What's this orange line? I can't remember what that was for. Delete it. TK cross. Okay. TK, so the Tenkan Sen crossing the Kijun Sen, which is the orange. So blue below orange, short. We had the Shiku span, which is the lagging line. Below price, below cloud, so that's all A-OK. We had the TK cross down. We had a red Kumo cloud ahead. Yeah, all systems go. Price action, like candles closing below the clouds. Yep. 4 checks, like it was all good. All systems go for a short. If you're uncomfortable shorting, on your keyboard, hold Alt and press I, and it looks like a bull market or a bull trend. You can, instead of hitting long, go short, but it looks like going long, right? It's kind of like one way to get around it mentally. Going long is like ingrained in my head. Like that's how I learned to trade. I spent 2 years of trading and looking at charts, looking for long opportunities. So I'm kind of like, it's just a habit to ignore short opportunities for me when they are profitable. Like you may as well go short if the conditions are right. But I have to, I guess, practice that. I have to get comfortable taking positions in both directions according to indication, right? Now, one thing, can you see, like when I zoom out here, there's something I want you to pay attention to. If I turn, let me turn off this one, and I'll go full screen as well. Price does this in a market, yeah? It goes down, creates a bottom. It can go up, create a top, and then it can correct off that top. Now with the Ishimoku, the cloud structure, the Ishimoku, this is what the Kumo clouds aim to do, is project forward ahead of time what's happening. And then the lagging span, the pink line, is trailing price action like this. So many little events happen during this. Let me just make, okay, we'll call the price action the green line. We'll call the lagging span, we'll make that pink, or this bright pink color. And then we'll make the leading, let's make that blue. Okay. So this is price here. When price punches through the Kumo clouds, that's this event right here. when the Chiku span, which is the pink line, when that punches through price and the clouds, those are also little events, like little signals. So this is, I guess you could call this like an overly simplified version of Ishimoku strategy, right? And then, yeah, it's kind of like the Williams alligator or like the EMA ribbons, right? Everything's opened up and pointing upward. It's like, you know, because we've got the Kumo cloud supporting us from underneath. Price is climbing. The lagging span is climbing next to us like this. So we're sandwiched between the two. Now, how do you get out? There's a couple of ways. There's the lagging span crossing price. There's the lagging span crossing the Kumo cloud or back into the Kumo cloud. Or there's price crossing into the Kumo cloud like that. That's kind of like how I see. This is how I see Ishimoku, like on a very basic level, right? Let me bring all this up higher so that we can like look at it away from any noise and distraction. Bring it up over here. Away from any lines, because the lines don't mean anything in this example, right? In me demonstrating this. Away from all trend lines. Here we go. Here's a nice clean part of the chart. Okay. Let's go. I wonder if it lets you draw on these. No, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. So we got price. Got the Kumo clouds. Got the lagging span, which is called the Chiku. Now you can trade this strategy without the Chiku span. You don't necessarily need it. It's just a nice little confirmation to have. Just make sure I'm spelling that right. I've seen it spelt like this: CHIKHOU, like that, Chiku. But either way, this is the same deal, right? All right, that's not what's important here. This is essentially a very simplified version of Ishimoku strategy. Now I'll just get a green color for a signal of long, going long. You can pay attention to when price breaks through the cloud like this as a long entry, right? You need confirmation, candle confirmation, all that jazz, but for the most part, that's the basics of getting long, is when price crosses through the Kumo clouds to the upside. Now, the Chiku span, you also want to see that meet up. If you want like strong confirmation, it'll be when Chiku gets above the Kumo clouds. So when your lagging line gets above and through the blue line, the cloud, right? Or like an early indication, like an earlier indication, if you want to try and risk getting in a little earlier. It may not be as strong, but you can take the Chiku crossing the price, crossing above price as a confirmation to go long. But anyway, let's say that's the long entry there. In a simplified term, it's like, okay, price is coming up. Where do you get out? And one way to get out is when Chiku crosses back through price. That can be an exit. Or when price crosses back through the clouds, that could be another exit. By the way, there's another element to this, and that is your TK crosses. So they happen something like this. I know I'm complicating the drawing a lot, but let me just show you. I'll make it different. Now the T line is the faster line, and it's by default, it's like, you know, in a lot of charts it's blue, and then I think by default it's red in a lot of indicators. The K line, the Kijun-sen. So the Tinkan-sen is the faster one, and I think they exist a little bit ahead of price. I don't know. Anyway, the point is they're kind of like an EMA cross strategy type thing. So I'm going to make these dashed as well, just to differentiate them even further. But yeah, like obviously this price doesn't do this. It doesn't go in beautiful arcing waves like I wish it did, but it doesn't. But this is just to break it down and simplify it, right? But yeah, a TK cross is another little element of going long. Like you want the TK cross to cross as a part of your checklist for going long. So that would be check 1. Price getting above the Kumo cloud. Usually that happens, or it can happen first, it can happen second. It really depends on the way price is trending. But yeah, we'll call that the next confirmation. So, and then your lagging span, your Chiku span, crossing either price or cloud, depending how strong of a signal you're wanting, like how much confirmation. Let's say we want it to cross through the cloud, like you could wait for it to do that. It just means you're going to be a bit later in an entry. If you take just the crossing of price, you'll get in a bit earlier, but it's not as sure. It's not as like you know, significant as a cloud break. But yeah, those are the 4 conditions there that you're looking for. Oh yeah. Sorry, not the 4. That's 3 so far. So let's say you're going for the strong confirmation. That's Chiku through the cloud. That's okay. TK cross, Chiku through the cloud, price getting above the cloud there. And then what is the 4th one? You need a Kumo twist. So that's where your Kumo cloud goes from red and changes into a green cloud in this case, because we're doing a long here. It'll be something like this, like that. So like, let's say we're calling this the red cloud, and then it switches to green when the lines cross. And those are your leading kind of. But anyway, hopefully that's making sense, guys. Overly simplified, but at least I've got it on video. Back to price. Can you see it now? You can sort of see what I'm talking about. Kumo clouds is an element. Lagging span is an element, the purple line, and then obviously price is a very important element too. So right now we are in a short, like this would be a short. When to close that short? You could do it when Chiku span crosses back through price. Let's say it does it over here or something. That could be your exit as a take profit. I guess the issue is like sometimes you get faked out. If you're taking Chiku span crossing price as an exit signal, then it happened here. So you would have like exited along like early, but then it crossed back above. So it's like, okay, it can re-enter, you know, condition met. And then look, lagging span, distant from price. That's an indication of a strong uptrend, right? Because it's so distant from it. Crossing back through price, pink line crossing back through, exit. Pink line crossing back through cloud. That's another signal for exiting too. They're roughly on the same plane, but yeah. Solana pumped because of Bonk, a meme coin released by Solana devs. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it could dump severely. It's definitely on a corrective move right now. Kumo Cloud, bang, red. Price, downtrend. Chiku Span, downtrend. Now, when Chiku gets cheeky and crosses through price like this, and cloud starts to curl out and maybe even turn green, get a Kumo twist, that's when the temperature's changing. That's when the conditions, the weather is changing, right, from downtrend to possible uptrend. That's what the clouds try to do. They try to forecast what is ahead, you know. So according to cloud, we're still in a red, we're still in a downtrend, right? It's a leading indicator in a way. It's trying to lead the way and show you what's up ahead, what's coming. So back here, Kumo Cloud would have been, say here, like let's see, the twist happened there, right? Price would have still been back here though. So it was indicating that there was a change on the cards through this area, right? Nice and early indication of a potential change. And what happened? Bang. It predicted the future because it changed color. That Kumo twist, it's very powerful at giving you an indication of what might happen. But look, you got to be careful because look, this can happen too. You can get Kumo going green and then going, oh, wait a minute, nah, I'm going back to red. I've changed my mind. The thing, it's not a reprinting indicator. It'll keep on the chart what it printed, but it can change its mind. Like, you know, that this little bump here was probably due to this little action, or maybe this. But anyway, it tells you when to get out, when to, you know, you should not be in a long if Kumo Cloud just turned red. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's my understanding anyway. Anyway, guys, it's been a good stream. It's been fun. Done some hypothetical examples. Solana hasn't got back onto like a bullish, you know, direction just yet. It's still very much underneath and trending down. But yeah, do some research, guys. Check out the Ichimoku Cloud Indicator. Bold 40. This is what you want to look up on YouTube, guys. Get into it, get amongst it. It's a really powerful indicator. Good trading strategy system. It works on all time frames too. So yeah. You know, even if you don't want to use it for its signals, you can just have it on your screen to sort of get a bit of like confluence with your other strategy that you might be playing. Like let's say you're using EMA cross, or you're using RSI MACD, or you know, your cipher indicator like this. It can be just a nice little thing to be aware of what's happening in Ichimoku land, you know. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next stream. Take care. Have a good one.